And just take a breath and drop into that beautiful, loving embrace. And just relax into that. And let all the activity of the weekend and the busyness of the weekend just fall away for now. And feel yourself coming more and more into this beautiful, quiet moment. This place of peace that exists inside, like a small, quiet flame in your heart. And take another breath into that. And give that heart flame some of that oxygen of your awareness, some of the oxygen of your love and your gratitude. Because you created being here. You said yes to being in this now, in this time and place of receiving, of creating, of affirming, and saying yes to the energy of family and the support and the honoring that Kryon and the entourage brings to the room. You said yes to that creation. And from that yes, something beautiful has been built. Something that continues to flow, continues to grow inside of you, like that flame. As you add your breath, as you add your love, and as you add your presence to the love and the honoring of Kryon and the entourage.
Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. There's so many times I've said this. I know who you are. It's a stretch for so many of you to believe that. One of the first questions the human asks when I come in is, who are you? As though there had to be some kind of singular entity with a name. It's caused because there is a singular person talking. But that's not the energy that is dispersed at this moment. The voice that you hear comes from my partner with his intellect, with his intelligence, his culture, his consciousness. And we've talked about a third language, and the third language then activates the entourage that's multidimensional in the room around you. The entourage does not come in with me. I've said that before. It comes in with you. Pieces and parts of that which is the divinity of the soul, which has been discussed even this day, are in the room because you're here. The human being is so much more powerful than you think. If you feel joyful, if you feel euphoric, if you feel you're learning, you're aware then of pieces and parts of you which are now being activated and active around you. And you're not alone, for that then interfaces with the others who are feeling the same thing, and that develops into an entourage. When I come in, I am speaking, and the entourage that is you then speaks to you. And it's not limited to the ones in the chairs. This is the beauty of a multi-dimensional galaxy, universe. It's the beauty of the physics that you don't even understand yet. The ones listening to this who are not here are here. They're listening in another time frame To us, there is no other time frame. It's all happening at once. It's now. That cannot be explained to you. But they're part of your entourage, even though they're listening later. They're related right now to that which you are feeling. And that is a beautiful system. For so many decades, for centuries, spiritual leaders have felt these things around them. The love of God is this way. And sometimes it's so confusing and yet so beautiful that you can sit there with your arms open and you know you're loved. There are some who have related this to the earth so greatly that they will only do it perhaps in the beach or the mountains. And when they do that, they feel all of nature is with them. The divas in the forest, hear them singing, know that the sky is attuned to them. And none of that really is the way it is. It's simply that God is everywhere and everything, and so are you. I want you to leave this place with an idea. You've got a secret. You're connected with everything. And that everything actually might have an attitude, a consciousness at some level that knows you're there. You might walk into a place that is completely and totally vacant of any other human, and the elements know you're there. You can't hear the singing that goes on, that appreciates the light where you walk. And you can be alone in the forest, or on the path, or simply walking along the grass. And the Merkabah that you have, that spiritual bubble that you carry that is divine, is so related to the Creator that even the insects know who you are. Things change because you're there. And if you hadn't seen this in history, you'd think perhaps I was making it up. But you have so many writings of the masters of the planet changing the elements where they walked. They were not that much more divine than you are. They might have had a different purpose at the time. Perhaps their DNA was working at a higher level. But the message they had was one of example. You can be just like me. That was their message. All through history, right up to the present, there are masters on this planet who can still do these things. And they're examples of consciousness over physics. But more than that, that you are so related to everything around you that you're one with everything. It's how you treat this and how you work with it that really shows, Spirit, your belief. We have touched on so many things. I want you to leave this place not thinking that there's a grand puzzle that you've got to figure out. Here is the answer to almost everything you might ask. On the other side of the veil, there is not darkness or misunderstanding. Because you cannot penetrate this veil completely, you believe that on the other side there's mystery. And I want to tell you, on the other side, there is love, benevolence, and a full knowing of who you are. A piece of your soul is there. What I'm trying to tell you is that no matter what you're trying to solve, no matter what you're trying to do, or even understand, Even if there's been too much for you to grasp this day, on the other side of the veil, there is complete and total understanding of who you are and what you're trying to do. If you reach out, you may not understand what you're getting or the hand that you're holding, but Spirit does. The part of you that is bigger than you even called your higher self, knows you better than you do. Because on the other side of the veil, there's a full sense of multidimensional reality, of all that is, and it's hidden from you. What I'm trying to tell you is that part of you knows you. On the other side of the veil, it is allied with the Creator. You got a friend there. There's no mystery there. I want you to relax with this. So many human beings trying to reach out to God, and they think God is this enormous, enormous level of intelligence. And it's not personal, but it is. And the personal part is the fact that you are part of this enormous intelligence. You're an integral part. That's the message. It really is. How can you put this into a practical manner, a practical way? Dear ones, you only have certain ways of linear communication. You can only do certain kinds of things that are meaningful to you. We can speak all day about the many parts of you and the soul on the other side of the veil. The very veil itself is mysterious. Where is it? How is it? And so we say to you that there's one thing that is a commonality that sails across the veil. And that one thing has some parts to it. The one thing, of course, is love. Compassion is part of that, and if you put the complement of what goes with compassion, it's joy. And if you look at joy, there has to be laughter. And so one of the best things you can do to break through the veil, to break the ice of what is what and how it works, is to sit down and be joyful. To take a deep breath and smile and know you are loved and that there's a hand up there in metaphors, in your brain. See it, perhaps, as part of you reaching down to shake hands with you. And as you do this, you're smiling. You're not in need. You're not pleading. You're not suffering. The God help me in fear is a bubble you're not going to get out of. Do you realize this? You make the veil thicker when you fear what's going on. But if you have the wisdom within all that's happening in your life to sit down and smile and feel the joy and the comfort that God knows who you are and Spirit knows that there is no accident that you're even sitting there. And then you realize there's a system. I'm in it. I'm part of it. It's me. I don't understand it. But everything on the other side of the veil is benevolent and knows what's going on. And as you put your hand through that veil metaphorically, you can laugh out loud. Laugh out loud. Enjoy that there are answers and solutions, something bigger than you can imagine, and the veil suddenly gets so thin because you have the compassion of understanding and the joy and the wisdom to laugh. Greatest spiritual leaders on this planet, greatest ones, are known to laugh a lot. Think back. No matter what they suffered eventually, the teaching was joyful. And so the message then gets even more complex. For now we ask you for wisdom. Wisdom to drop an old consciousness that asks for help. You can say to Spirit, "Dear Spirit, tell me what it is I need to know," and laugh the whole time, knowing you don't know anything. But you're going to receive that which you need. Good enough, isn't it? What if Spirit only doles out what you need as you need it? Is it good enough for you? Or is there a linear thing that says I have to have a storehouse before I'm happy? The definition of abundance is that your needs are taken care of every moment that you need it. That you don't need to know what's happening tomorrow, or that there's going to be something there for you tomorrow. There will be. We've said it before, the metaphor, the epitome, the history of this is the Israelites in the desert fed every morning for 40 years. And it's an interesting metaphor, is it not? That the generations that came, even though they were fed every morning, at some time during the day there was fear of whether they would be fed the next morning. It's so human, is it not? I'm going to ask you to drop that. How much love do you have to have before you realize it's always there? How many answers and synchronicities do you have to have before you realize that's the system? It's time for humanity, especially old souls and light workers, to stop fearing the future. To understand that this system is forever. Long after you're gone and returned, the system will be in place and you'll be using it. The older you become, akashically, the better you're going to understand it. Let me tell you something. The energy is in place right now, and we've said it before, that when you return in this next lifetime, no matter what age you are, dear ones, this is going to happen. When you return the next lifetime, and you will, you're all coming back, all of you. You wouldn't miss this. You've spent too many years and lifetimes waiting for this. You're going to line up to return. And when you return, you will not have to relearn what you had to learn this lifetime. Because the Akashic awakening is going to be so complete. You won't know who you were or what you did, but you'll have the wisdom not to make the same mistakes. It's beautiful. And part of that wisdom is to know how the system works and to work it in a synchronistic way better than you've ever worked at this time, and be joyful when you do it. Your next life is going to be better than this one. Period. Because the wisdom on the planet that you have helped create, you're going to wallow in and enjoy, and it's about time you had a vacation. It's about time. It's going to feel that way because things are going to be easier. Right now, this is difficult because you carry around with you the bias of history. In an old energy, that's all you've experienced. It's all you know. You judge everything by that. And when you come back, you won't. You'll judge everything by the new energy that you recognize, that you're comfortable with, and you see as opportunity to change the planet. You can hardly wait. You come out of the womb ready to go. Your parents will look into your eyes and they'll go, Holy moly, who's this? That's how different you'll be. That's how different you'll be. The very countenance of infants is going to start changing. Born into a new energy, an old soul is not going to have the attributes of an old-style infant. Everything starts to morph and change and be part of a new energy on the planet. Everything. I tell you this so that you will know not only in this lifetime do you have things to look forward to, but from now on. The system is big. You're eternal. And you'll continue what you started now. It's hard for humans to think past the one lifetime. Indeed, that is the plan, and that should be. But I can tell you, I've been with you before. Kryon is the name of the group that comes before you right now that helps to facilitate the information of this new shift. And before you had this new shift, there were other messages given at other times. I was there. You give angelic names to this very process. An angel speaks to you. It has a name. A group speaks to you. You don't like that. It's got to have a name. The further back you go in history, when Spirit speaks to you, now it has to have a name, a body, skin, and wings, and a halo. It has to look like you, act like you, and just in order for you to understand it at all. That's changing. And some of you will understand that Spirit is really part of you, speaking to you. It's a friend. It's not apart from you. It's not God in the sky. It's you in the sky. Part of the creative source, part of a plan, part of a system. A graduate earth is coming. Things happen slowly for you. There are some seniors in the audience who can look back. The attendees that are here look back in their lives as though it were yesterday. As though it were yesterday, and a lifetime races by to them. And they look at their chronological age and they can't believe it. So many things have happened, and only yesterday they remembered this and that and this and that. This is just an inkling of what it's like on the other side, for we see all of humanity this way. Yesterday you arrived. Today you're graduating. It's beautiful. You're timeless. You don't get older, you get better. This is how we see you, because we are part of you. We are part of you. We're not separated from you. I speak to you as Kryon, as part of a soul group that's you. I've never been a human. It doesn't matter. Because part of your soul is of the Creator, and so am I. I'm part of you, you are part of me. Doesn't it feel this way? Doesn't it feel more comfortable? There are so many right now starting to understand that the messages are profoundly beautiful and comforting, because the system is here and working. I want you to go from this place changed, standing a little taller in who you are and why you're here, knowing there are solutions, perhaps that you don't know are coming, and they are coming. As long as you laugh, as long as you're joyful, as long as you chase fear out of your life and say to the fear that's there, you don't belong here. Get out of my life. Not anymore. Human, you're coming out of an older energy, and this is a tough time. The next time around, you won't remember an older energy. You'll only remember the new energy you're in. It's going to change everything. Children are being born right now with that attribute. One of the issues of children that is so misunderstood is that they do not have old energy attributes of remembrance. All they know is what is possible, not what is not possible. And because of that, they look like they're troublemakers, because they don't fit into the old energy that you've experienced. It's a time of shift. Part of the shift is this: it won't last forever. There'll come a time when the generations will all be new. And when that time comes, things will be different. The earth will be different. What you do will be different. And you'll be here as one of them. It's beautiful. Spirit knows who you are. The hand of benevolence on the other side of the veil knows who you are. Ready for you to laugh with them. Have joy with them. Don't worry about it. There's too much intellectualizing. How do I do it? What will happen? How many parts are there? If I do this, will this happen? It's really quite funny how linear you're making the beauty and the love of God. Relax. Smile. Be joyful. Don't figure it out. And so it is.